Welcome back, everyone, to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zach.
Shane.
We are back with Amazon's Rings of Power, Season 2. The trailer. Wow, do you remember how things ended?
Yeah, it ended with what I thought was an absolutely cinematic, beautiful, awesome fucking ending. You kind of called it. And I remember I didn't follow it, but there were people who follow us were telling me there were so many arguments online about who he was, and very few people thought he was going to be Sauron. And you kind of called it based on your knowledge of the lore.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It took my breath away. You know, you can make all kinds of arguments whether you liked it or not. I don't think you can make an argument that it wasn't surprising to most people.
Image-wise, Numenor was beautiful.
It was fucking beautiful.
And that's probably my favorite character in the show so far is Elisar. Not Elisar.
Isildur?
No, Isildur's the son.
Okay. The coward.
Yeah, he's the coward.
Yeah.
Elendil.
Okay. Yeah, he's great. You know what? A storyline I really enjoyed was the Harfoots.
Yeah, they're always getting left behind.
Well, I enjoyed it because we had such a fun back and forth on me criticizing their way of life.
Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed like their small little piece of the world. Like it's interesting to just like to me it was a breath of fresh air when you're with them.
Well, we have what we pretty much know is meant to be Gandalf.
Yeah. Well, or is it?
Who else is it going to be?
But I'll speak for both of us because Zach won't. I loved the last season, and I think he liked it. So
yeah, I didn't hate it. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, it was fucking egregious.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I've learned that you are always going to have the books.
Yeah.
You're always going to have the movies. You do not have to associate this with any of them. You can just say, hey, I have those movies. I have these books that I love. There's going to be other attempts now, 5, 10, 15, 40 years from now, of people trying to reimagine this shit.
Yeah.
You can't fight that tide, man. You just got to let it roll.
Yeah.
So.
That being said, guys, we're going to jump in, and after this, we're going to jump into the little behind the scenes. So stick around.
Whoa.
An evil, ancient and powerful, has returned.
Oh, I forgot about
Oh, I forgot. I fucking love that character.
Yeah.
He's great.
Prepare yourselves.
And she actually is cool, so I really like her.
Dr. Oz. He's back.
He worms his way inside your mind. The crust of him slithers in.
I think he has been here. I think he's been here among us all along.
Definitely the same guy.
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril.
I love the elf guy, too.
He's Sauron.
August 29th. One thing I love is the production.
Galadriel's being driven more by a bigger purpose, and I feel she's once again becoming connected with Middle-earth and with all the people in it. That's making her quest more important, since Sauron is building his strength.
Here we are in Mordor. One of the exciting things about this year is we're going to get to see Sauron out in the open, making everything happen. We'll be able to watch it all unfold.
With Durin, his relationship with his father has gone, and his pride has taken a massive hit.
The darkness did reach him. He's received the biggest blow to his spirit thus far.
It gets a little darker. The chessboard's been set, and I'm seeing the chess pieces move.
The second season, it really feels like the gloves come off.
Brace yourself.
Set a watch at every crossing. He must not escape.
I've had an unexpected visitor.
Who'd have thought a ring could have so much power?
You should name a show after it. The Power of Rings. Or what about Rings of Power?
I forgot about that
just
dude who
really
plays his dad.
exciting to finally
He's
be
cool.
back. I'm just so grateful to be a part of it.
Here we are in new territory, new places to visit.
I mean, the set is almost too scary to go into. Don't look.
The detail that the craftsmen put in there is incredible. You absolutely get lost when you're here.
When you're in costume on the set, you're going to discover even more
McCreary.
wonderful things to do.
We kind of touched on
Did
it
the
and
music
teased
in,
on it in
Black
season
Sails?
1. This time you
Oh,
will
yeah.
see us in
Was
all
it him?
our glory.
Damn.
There's things that we're doing that are completely new, and you do sort of get plunged straight into the story.
It's been a long way. Some bad things might have happened. Some good things may have happened. And there's a lot of danger, a lot of excitement. But we're back in Middle-earth.
What was that?
Little thing in the red robe?
Yeah.
I'm not go back. Rewind it. You have the power.
Oh my god.
Fuck's sake. Ugh.
The question is, who's that guy? And
Well, it was an elf.
there's,
Yeah,
there's a production guy down there. I'm excited. I think it looks cool.
You have to wonder how much ground they're going to cover because they've condensed a lot of time in the first season, so I have to wonder how much they're condensing in the second season.
Okay.
There's a lot going on there.
Did you want to have a slower pace than the first season did?
Well, I don't know. That or make the seasons longer, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how much they're condensing in there. It looked. I wonder if it was meant to be Sauron. Well, he makes the rings. Like fuck, I gotta get my timeline straight too. 9 from in.
He
7
looks
to the
quite a
board.
bit different when they put his elf getup on.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't know that I need to see the Master at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to see Palpatine running around with political meetings, like,
Yeah, I get that.
lining shit up. But at the same time,
I mean, well, I guess hopefully they understand. You don't want to see him. You know, we saw him in the first season. We don't need to see him like eating a sandwich now. You know.
that's my point. It's I don't need that, but at the same time, he's kind of the face
Mhm.
on the evil because the benefit of that when Tolkien originally wrote the books, and he had the movies, for instance, those first set of adaptations, or at least the first live action adaptations, that you had Saruman as a face for evil. You had other people that represented it.
Yeah.
And Sauron was just in the background.
Yeah.
Even though he was the namesake of the books, he was the title character.
Yeah.
He's the Lord of the Rings. But the Nazgul was the threat that came from him. So you had the threat from him
Without showing him.
Without showing him.
Was it canon that he actually was with the elves living amongst them making stuff?
He did teach them,
And
how to make those rings.
Look like? Well, he did look like an elf.
But
too,
mind,
right?
to mind, they didn't discover him that way that they did here, though. I thought that when if I remember right, I thought they discover him after he creates the one ring and puts it on, and they felt his presence and realized what he had done.
Maybe.
And then they take the rings off. They're like, they fucking pull them off. So
okay,
and then the dwarves proved to be very resilient toward. Like they would just get really greedy.
Yeah.
But they still stayed to themselves. They weren't very. He couldn't get them to do what they wanted them to do.
Oh.
Like they became just like cantankerous and mean and very even greedier.
All right.
Like they're a little too stiff necked for him to bend to his will.
Yeah.
And of course, man.
Yeah, and man, obviously the most corruptible, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how much I love Prince Durin and his whole storyline, and him with like that relationship.
Elrond.
I like that relationship they
Young
have.
Elrond.
Yeah, young Elrond. What kind of being was Sauron again? Like he wasn't just a corrupt elf, was he?
No, he was
like the angel thing.
He was he was the same kind of being that Gandalf and Saruman were.
Yeah.
Except he was obviously much more powerful. And
yeah.
Even in the books, Gandalf admits that the black is still more powerful. He's talking about referring to Sauron.
Okay.
Because the Gandalf and the Astari, the wizards, weren't sent into Middle Earth just these fucking just badasses that can wipe the fucking floor with anybody. They were meant to. They have power, but they're meant to invoke, courage and uprising in the inhabitants of Middle Earth against so they can take care of their own fucking problems.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, is the idea.
Well, I'm excited to watch it with you because actually I like when you kind of explain the lore too.
Well, I'd like to see where they go with ideas. I like the expression of ideas. I just don't like sometimes kind of the end result of the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they'll pull those ideas together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen some bad movies that had some cool ideas inside of them.
Yeah. Like I said, I love the first season. Hopefully the second season's just as good or better, especially for you. I know you want it to be really good. So.
Well, I'm not expecting greatness.
Okay. Guys, if you want more conversations like this, Zach knows a shit ton about it. I know nothing, but I enjoyed all the movies I've seen. Even the first Hobbit movie I thought was good. I watched with Eric. I didn't,
The first one is like they had that song when they're in Hobbiton. Like when they're in Hobbiton,
I heard
it ain't bad.
When I watched that with Eric, he cried during that song.
Yeah.
Like he loved that song.
That song was good. Like I said, when they're in Hobbiton, it was good. Like a lot of that, like the smaller.
Yeah,
I didn't get to.
I've only saw it once, and I remember thinking like the story itself just is not as good as Lord of the Rings.
It just goes downhill. It didn't need to be 3 films. I don't know why they fucking did that.
Money. Anyways, guys, if you want to join us here when it premieres, we'll be here. We appreciate you. See you guys then.